Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Should we see what's going on the lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where yet again I do not really have much to talk about, which is very much a recurring case, I suppose, for all these Animal Crossing episodes. I'm not even doing much of these Animal Crossing episodes anymore. But hey ho, here we go. We're just sort of here to vibe out. Maybe it'll be a shorter episode. I don't know. I mean, you can see how long the run time is beforehand, and thus you can judge for yourself. But as for me, I don't know. And this is why I sort of just browsing Reddit. What interesting thing have I read today? Where I was just like, oh, you know, I should talk about that. I don't know. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:42 p.m. on Friday, January 7th, 2022. CJ's visiting today, so of course we'll pay a visit to CJ. E3 will be online again. I guess that makes sense. Pokemon Legends overview. Rainbow Six Extraction. I don't know. And I'm not interested in this stuff. What's on the front page? I don't know. Okay, so this is where we search for memory banks and try and talk about literally anything that we particularly want to, but I don't really have much of a thing to talk about. I mean, I guess you know what I could talk about. You know, there's Katrina's things there with fortune telling. Have I ever got my fortune told or anything like that? I'm not actually sure if I've talked about fortune telling before. It's actually an interesting thing. But anyway, one of my friends, Rach, they got like a tarot deck set for Christmas, probably. Yeah, quick Christmas. I was like, Christmas was a while ago. I wonder if it was actually they got it for Christmas. And I believe they did. Yeah, they got it for Christmas, and they did like a tarot reading for us in our little sort of like friend circle. And I'll be honest, I don't remember like anyone else's like fortunes, I suppose, all that well. The only one I particularly remember well is my one, probably because you know it was mine. I feel like that's a kind of fair thing to happen. And before you get on to me, which you probably won't, but you know, I'm building a straw man here so I can have something to sort of like mentally spar against. The fact that tarot isn't real and fortune telling isn't real, yeah, okay. I mean, I also don't buy into it, but I think it's just kind of a bit of good fun, you know, kind of like stuff along the lines of astrology and that sort of thing. And the only reason I particularly like tarot cards is not really their means of use as a fortune telling medium, more like their symbolic representation, I suppose. I always find kind of interesting. Maybe, I'm not sure if necessarily in a sort of like artistic sense, but in like a thematic sense. I quite like the idea, I suppose, of the symbols of the tarot cards and their meanings, while I don't necessarily derive any sort of like divine sense from them personally. But if you do, fair enough. If it works for you, as long as you aren't hurting anyone nor hurting yourself, that's the general rule of thumb I go by. Then by all means, do whatever ends up working for you. But yeah, I don't personally buy into any of the fortune telling or predicting of fortune, or you know, any like karmic forces, I suppose, of the universe. The universe, as I talked about before, and I think Talos principle, and I've tended to have a sort of nihilistic view of the universe, where you know, the universe don't really care. It doesn't have feelings. It just is. But anyway, sorry, big sort of digression about the fact. But Rach did use a tarot deck to sort of talk about and predict our fortunes. Yeah, now, I'm not an expert in tarot, and I know some of the things, you know, I know like before was meant to be like new beginnings of that sort of thing. To be honest, all the things I learned about tarot are things from where tarot appears in other media, and that's sort of just like how I sort of passively learn about that. I say passively, it's not really like passively, it's more like brush up against it thematically. That sort of thing. I also did not pay attention. I think we actually got a different fortune item, but from Katrina there, but I didn't actually pay attention to it. So you know, thanks Katrina, and legitimately this time. But I feel like I remember that the fortune I got told was my past, present, and future fortune, where Rach turned over like 3 cards or whatever, and it was meant to represent my past, present, and future. I don't really know how the shuffling business goes, but you know, don't ask me about that. I'm not really sure. And I believe I got the 4 of swords for my past, the 7 of swords for my present, and the 8 of swords for my future. And if I recall, the one about the past was something about secrets, or something like there's a secret being kept from me, or I'm keeping a secret, and the swords are meant to somehow represent that in the card. I can't really remember. The 7 of swords is like not cracking under pressure or something, like the threat of like these swords dangling above you, and like I can't remember what animal was on it, like the ram sort of facing it head on. Being like, I don't really care about that, and is my present. And then the future being like a load of swords pointing towards this poor little butterfly, and it was the general thematic of like feeling trapped or something, or like having no options or choices or something, you know, feeling very sort of stuck, which, you know, is not exactly the most optimistic, I suppose, of fortune tellings, but, you know, that's kind of how it goes. There's good and there's bad, I suppose, in tarot deck. And, you know, while I don't take one about being like, oh man, in the right now, you know, I'm just facing tremendous amounts of pressure and facing it head on, awesome, and in the future I'm gonna start feeling trapped by it. I mean, I'm sure there will be events which correspond to those sort of things, but, you know, human life is much more complicated than that sort of thing. It's more than just like definable, I suppose. A lot of the time, not all the time, I suppose. Your minds may vary by singular thematic or singular event, so, you know, don't read into it that much as a defining moment. But I suppose the thing I say with this is same sort of thing. Oh yeah, I forgot, we've got star fragments to collect. Same sort of thing I say with regards to things like these like personality tests, you know, like Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, whatever, that sort of thing, the ocean stuff. Like, maybe some of them have some scientific basis and some don't in the slightest. But really, I don't think that's what you should be taking from them, as if like they're like scientific definitions of who you are, what you are as a person, and your ideals and beliefs and that sort of thing. It's more like a sort of bouncing board to sort of bounce ideas of and reflections of yourself off of, to really sort of understand. And I suppose I sort of buy into, not really buy into tarot in the same way, but like interpret tarot and other fortune telling mediums, but in the same sort of way, where I just sort of, you know, is a time for self-reflection. Maybe, you know, it's a sort of, you know, I reflect upon myself, like, you know, what am I going to do if I'm facing that sort of situation like the butterfly is? If I feel like the pressure coming from all sides and I feel like I'm being trapped. I'm a spring blossom season. Not particularly great because we don't need to collect many spring blossoms. I guess we'll collect a few, but more importantly, we should get a spring blossom recipe, which we hopefully don't have. So we actually got quite lucky now, you know, two days in a row we got a seasonal island. How fun. But yeah, I think tarot cards and tarot decks are very cool thematically. I love the idea of the major arcana, I suppose, of how many is that, like 23 or so sort of cards, all with their different sort of like representations and meanings behind them. That's from Sylvana, how cute. And the fact that you can use that, I suppose, from an artistic perspective, you can use them as like prompts, like thematically, I suppose. You can use them as symbolism and imagery, and I suppose that's a very sort of core part of tarot, is the symbolism that each one of those cards hold. So I always like it, especially as like a thematic, that sort of thing, you know, when I play games and we use tarot thematics, I'm always like, ooh, fun. Despite the fact I'm not really one for any of that sort of like Wicca. Hold on. Tarot and witchcraft sort of things are different, or are they the same, or do they overlap? Or maybe it's like a Venn diagram. I don't really know. As you can tell, I'm not very well versed in that sort of thing, and I apologise. If it is certainly one of your interests, I don't mean to be rude or offensive to it. This is, I suppose, just my sort of experience of it, which is not much, granted, but still. Yeah, it's a sort of, I suppose it's kind of the same sort of thing with witchcraft and like occultist things. I don't really like subscribe to those sort of like beliefs or anything, but I think they're just kind of cool thematics, which I suppose is a bit redundant way to talk about it. If it, you know, you can certainly argue that's a bit of like not like a mean-spirited way, but a bit of like a reductive way to look at things, especially for people where it actually means quite a lot to them, which is, you know, fair enough. I think that is a fair criticism. But there's also I guess it's kind of like a mix of appreciate. Well, I don't know. I suppose that sort of begs the questions of, can you appreciate something without like believing in it necessarily? I would say yes, but perhaps you would say no. And I suppose it's fair either way. But we're not really talking about that right now. We're talking more about tarot cards. So, you know, should we play a game? How many other major arcana can I remember off the top of my head? Which, by the way, a lot of it's I know all the cards because of Binding of Isaac. I don't remember their numbering in order, but we can give it a shot. We can give it a shot. And I'll do my best to sort of like try and recount the meanings behind them. So if you're actually someone who knows about tarot cards, you can sort of like laugh at my expense, being like, ha 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 ha. She thought, I don't know, whatever. So we know about card 0. How many have I in total? I think there's 24. And it goes from 0 to 23. Love that. Love me some 0-based indexing. So with 0, we start off with the Fool. It was something about like restarting journeys, or like a start of your new self, right? maybe not your new self necessarily, but trying something new. Like that's a fool is they're sort of like recklessly diving into something, which I've never done before. I mean, the fool always has like what's it called? That sort of like stick with a bundle that you put over your shoulder. That you often see like not vagrants, but like travelers have bindles. I think that's right. And they're often seen with like a cliff, which they're just like walking off or something, which I guess is representative of diving into something sort of like not necessarily recklessly, but trying something new. I think. I suppose this is more like the Dear Darling tarot cards of my own interpretations of all these things. And then card number 1, I think is the Magician, which I don't really know what the Magician is. I think it's to do with guidance or something. Oh, Brewster. Cool. Dear, you got a minute. Oh yes, of course. We're gonna get for Brewster Gyroid, I got something for you. Think of it as my way of saying thanks. A Brewstoid. I'll put it in your pockets for you. Thanks, Brewster. Thank you so much. I thought you'd say more there, you know, seeing as that was number 51st cup of coffee I suppose we had at the Barista. Quite a special one. You might say, is it more special than number 50? I don't know. I suppose it depends on how much you really like round numbers. Anyway, not the point. Magician, something about guidance, I think about teaching, maybe. I don't know. Number 2. What is number 2? I know that Emperor and Empress are pretty soon, but I think they're 3 and 4. Or maybe 4 and 5. No, 5 is Hierophant. What's number 2? Hermit? No, I think Hermit's higher. I think Hermit's like 10. But the way I remember these numbers is not actually by remembering the numbers directly with a thing. I think I talked about this before. I remember like sort of vague concepts. Oh dear. So when I think of a word magician, I think of concepts which somehow relate to number 1 in a sort of weird abstract sense. That doesn't really make sense, but I don't know. We should talk about that at a different time. What is number 2? High Priestess? It might be High Priestess. I'm not sure what High Priestess is. I'm gonna guess it's something to do with power in some sense, but I also thought Emperor and Empress was something to do with power. It's like Emperor and Empress is something to do with power, but they're more to do with masculinity and femininity, from what I recall. And like father and paternal and maternal figures, or something like that. I'm not really sure, so I'm not sure what High Priestess is. So, guess we'll come back to that. Emperor, Empress, I just talked about. Hierophant, I don't even know what an Hierophant is. I'll be perfectly honest. Is it like some sort of guardian, some sort of protector? I guess it's something to do with that then. I don't know. Number 6. What is number 6? Chariot? I think it's Chariot. I think Chariot is like being brash or something? Like doing something bold? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if this is really like a tarot interpretation of Chariot, or it's more like just my interpretation of what a chariot is. Just sort of being like, you know, a go get 'em type of dealio. Also, we've not seemed to go on any of the Capricorn fragments. We've only seemed to got the normal fragments, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, it does happen. What's number 7? That's a good question. Oh, is it Wheel of Fortune? Wheel of Fortune is... I don't know. I thought for a second I knew, but no, I can't really think of. Is it something about like something about fate? I think. Isn't that like a common thematic about like a giant wheel, in not just tarot, but like other sort of cultures and beliefs? Is a thing? Maybe it's not. I don't know. What's number 8? Maybe that's Hermit. I feel like Hermit's around 8, 9, or 10 though. Oh no, 8 must be Lovers. Or maybe 7's Lovers. Wait, I'm getting confused. I don't know what Lovers are. Lovers, I don't know. I assume it's to do with love. I feel like it's kind of just like in the name, isn't it? Maybe not. And then if 9 is Hermit, Hermit is about like finding something, right? It's something about lanterns. I only know this because there's Project Sekai. One of the cards is one of the many cards. Thematics is tarot themed, and one of the cards is Hermit, and the other one's Reversed Hermit. It's like the Reversed Hermit's about being lost, and the Hermit's about like finding, or like being some sort of guiding light. Something about that lantern. I don't really recall. Amelia, you're not allowed to move out, so I'm not going to talk to you. So what's number 10? Maybe 10 was Hermit. Maybe 10 was Tower, right? Tower is like some big event which happens. I'm actually shocked how many of these I remember. I don't know if the numbers are right, mind you, but the fact I've even got their names, I suppose, is, to me, that seems like something impressive, but maybe that's not so much to you, which is fair enough. Anyway, we're going to put Brewster up the front here. He's going to be sort of leading the charge. I can't believe he made his own gyroid. Oh, that's a quite nice noise. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 10 is something about like some big catastrophic big event, sort of like destroying everything, and then it's about starting anew from it, I think. And then you've got 11, 12, and 13, which I think this is where the stars, moon, and sun come in. I feel like we haven't got enough other cards. You know, if 11, 12, 13 are star, moon, and sun, in my mind, those are actually quite late ones. So I think they should be around 20-ish. At which point, I'm sort of running out of cards that I remember. So for number 10, which was Tower, what other ones am I missing? I don't know. Gosh, that's quite difficult. And I need like a notepad. Hold on. Let's get a notepad out. We got 0, Fool, 1, Magician, 2, High Priestess. This is a game I sometimes do. Sometimes to be like, how can I if there's something like I know, like how many of them can I remember off the top of my head? Like, how many of League of Legends champion can I remember off the top of my head if I, you know... This is something I do just like in a car journey or something, you know. No, it's not something I do when I have something better to do, but it's fun to think about. Okay, so 3 would be the Emperor. 4 would be the Empress. 5 is definitely the Hierophant. 6, I think... what did I say 6 was? I think 6 is Lovers, now I think about it. For Lovers. They've all got the in front of them. The Fool. Okay, so what am I missing? 7 is... I don't know. What I put here? Chariot? That doesn't seem right. I feel like 8 should be Chariot, if anything. 7 is... Hermit? This no longer seems right. I think I've done a different order. 9, I don't know. 10, I think is Wheel of Fortune. Oh, one of these is Temperance. Somewhere in here. Hold on. Maybe that's 11? Temperance. There's actually too many. I know the last one is World. So number 23 is World. For World. And I think it goes 22 being the Sun. 21 being the Moon. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm typing. So this is probably the most boring thing in the world. So, I apologise, but you know, sometimes this is just what I want to do. This is what Animal Crossing has turned me into. This is the sort of thing that I do to fulfill myself, I suppose. 12, 13, I don't remember. 14, 15. Okay, now we're gonna try and slowly remember the ones I suppose we've been missing. This is what you've been missing. Okay, so we got quite a few gaps. I'm not gonna lie. We got many gaps. Now the question is, what are these? Okay, what other missions do we have? Plant trees, radio exercises, talk to people. Okay, can do. What ones am I missing? Oh, we got Justice somewhere in here. I think Justice is one of the earlier ones. I didn't mean to dig it up. I don't know what I did. So we're just gonna put Justice at 9. I'll be honest, I don't know what any of these meanings are anymore. Except for the world is like an end of a journey. Oh, Tower! I didn't put Tower in here. Okay, well, we'll just put Tower at 12, even though it's not 12. I feel like I should... I feel like... Okay, Temperance, I feel like it might be 12. Because I feel like Tower was 10. And then Wheel of Fortune, I guess, can be 11, despite the fact it might not be. I don't know. Okay, what are we missing? What are we missing? The Hanged Man. Oh, wait, that's so much... That's definitely an earlier one. Maybe that's where Justice is? Maybe that's where Chariot is. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man's about, like, not doing anything, right? Chariot. Maybe Chariot is, like, 13. I don't know. Yeah, that's what Hanged Man is. Like, it's about, like, not inaction necessarily, but you like, not jumping into the action than normally you would or something. I feel like you can make your own sort of tarot deck, you know? These are all sort of very, like, wishy-washy sort of names which you can have fun with, you know? What if you had, like, the Helper, or, like, the Servant, or the Lord, the Lady, I don't know. I guess that's kind of riding off the coattails of Emperor and Empress, which, you know, only so much of a spark of ingenuity can you really come up with when being influenced so much by this sort of thing. Okay, what other ones we got? Tower, Sun, Path. This is hard. Maybe there's not even 23. I'm pretty sure there's like 23. Oh, we should get a fish out for CJ. I don't even remember if we got a fish or not. Is it bugs we ran out? It's bugs we ran out of, not fish. We need more like wishy-washy ones. You know, because some of these are just like abstract nouns, you know. Temperance? What about other cardinal virtues? Justice? We've got other. Bravery? Humility? Is that the other? No. It's something to do with intelligence. I can't remember. Wisdom, maybe. I don't think that's one of them. Alright, after this, I think I'll just go look up a list. And we'll do a little bit of learning, you know. We'll try and find out which ones, what means what, you know. We'll get a little bit of, try and teach yourself something every single day, I suppose. What happens if I don't press A? I sound like I tried this before. I didn't press A, and like, yeah, you do the thing anyway. Okay. Can I think of anything? The devil. Oh, the devil's number 6, almost certainly. That feels right in my head. It's definitely an earlier one. Oh, all these numbers are messed up. Okay, what can I switch it with then? Justice? Wait, I don't know. The devil? What did I just get rid of? The devil. Justice. Now I'm just trying to think of like Binding of Isaac card, seeing if I can remember. What's the one that spawns a beggar called? Charity? That doesn't sound right. I can't remember what it's called. There's one which spawns like an NPC in the game called the beggar. Or not the beggar, a beggar, but I can't remember what it's called. Oh well. Well, we got pretty good. Like, you know, how many did we miss? I'm gonna give a half point for one I can kind of remember, but can't quite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we missed 5.5. That's not bad. All things considered. Could be worse. But now this is where, I don't know, what's like a good site to learn about tarot cards from? This is a problem because, you know, when you're not like well versed, I suppose, in this sort of thing, you don't really know what's a reliable source. Tarot card meanings. There's a PDF file. Labyrinths.co. I'm sorry if it's not a cool site. So, okay, it's backwards. Okay. The Fool, the Magician. Okay, we got that right. High Priestess. Officer Strong Star. Empress and Emperor. Oh, I got those the wrong way around. Hierophant. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Hierophant is 5. So we've done pretty well so far. Lovers at 6. There we go. Chariot is 7. I put Hermit there. Oh, Strength. I forgot about Strength. You're right. So wait, hold on. So Hermit is 9. Oh. Oh, so that was a lot later than I thought. Oh, Wheel of Fortune is 10. Oh, you know, maybe I should have trusted myself. Justice, 11. Hanged Man at 12. So I knew there was someone in the middle, I just didn't have the order. Death, I forgot about Death, that's 13. Temperance is 14. I put it at 12. Devil at 15. Okay, never mind, I thought Devil was much, much earlier. The Tower is at 16. That's so much later than I thought it was. The Star at 17. Moon, 18. Sun, 19. Judgment, 20. And the World, 21. Oh, okay. actually, okay, so I missed out 3.5. If anything, I actually thought it was 24 for some reason. Nope, there's just 22. Okay, so let's learn a little bit about these as we grab an anchovy and give it to CJ. What we got? Okay, so the Fool. Upright is innocence, new beginnings, and free spirit. Got that right? Something about new beginnings. Free spirit makes sense. Reversed, recklessness, taking advantage of, inconsideration. Magician means willpower, desire, creation, and manifestation. Okay, so it's not really guidance. Now I think about it, I think Hermit might be guidance. And reverse, it's trickery, illusions, or being out of touch. Interesting. You know? The wheels are turning my head about how to incorporate these thematics into like my own characters and that sort of thing. But of course, you probably should learn a bit more about them. High Priestess, intuitive, unconscious, inner voice. Reversed, it means lack of center, lost inner voice, and repressed feelings. I'm not really sure I understand this one particularly well. Intuition, unconscious, inner voice. So it's just like, okay, so it's all about intuition, I guess. Empress is motherhood, fertility, and nature. And the reversed is dependence, smothering, emptiness, and nosiness. Make me collectible. Emperor is authority, structure, control, fatherhood. And reverse is tyranny, rigidity, and coldness. Alright, fair enough. I think I kind of got those. I mean, I got the fatherhood and motherhood part. I did forget about the fertility, nature, and the authority part, but oh well. Hierophant is about tradition. Oh, I see. And reverse is rebellion. So reverse isn't always necessarily a bad thing. It seems. I was under the impression that a reverse tarot card would always be like a bad meaning, but you know, this one seems like a pretty good one. I mean, rebellion in the sense of, you know, changing things up, I suppose. I mean, while it's certainly good to follow the status quo at certain times, it's not always good to follow it. There's certainly no good reason for it. Lovers, partnership, and duality and union. I feel like that's certainly one of the more evident ones. I gotta give credit to tarot card readings, as a lot of them are quite straightforward about their meanings, I suppose. And reversed is loss of balance, one-sidedness, and disharmony. Chariot is about direction, control, and willpower. There we go, willpower. That's kind of what I wanted. Not quite, but as long ways. Oh my god, we only got 5 minutes left. What? Lack of direction, control, and aggression. Strength is inner strength, bravery, and compassion. Focus and reverse it's self-doubt, weakness, and insecurity. I guess that makes sense, you know. Also, reverse of strength, weakness. Hermit, contemplation, searching for truth, inner guidance. Okay, so inner guidance, not necessarily guiding someone else, is what I thought it meant. Contemplation, loneliness, and reverse it's lonely in isolation and lost your way. How? See, that's what I love about these, like, these thematics, these meanings behind them. It's always nice to have these sort of like symbolism, and I suppose why I like it is the fact that it's a generally sort of known thing. Like maybe people don't know the meanings of that sort of thing necessarily well, but people kind of know what tarot cards are, I suppose, in the first place. And the fact that they have like well-established meanings and thematics and symbolism that you can have behind them, it's pretty cool. Wheel of Fortune changes, cycles. Okay, we need to talk to someone, and we need to go buy a tree. Inevitable fate. Ah, that's it. It's about fate. I feel like I did know that one, but I forgot. A reverse is no control. Justice is cause and effect, clarity and truth. Reverse is dishonesty, accountability, and unfairness. Oh, we also need to find our crafter, don't we? For today, cause and effect. Dishonesty is reversed. Unfairness. I guess that makes sense, you know. Some of these are just sort of synonyms of what the words mean. Hangman, sacrifice, release, and martyrdom. That's it, yeah. Being released, like, not getting involved or something, or like holding yourself back, from what I recall. Reverse, it's stalling, needless sacrifice, fear of sacrifice. Where are we going? I was meant to go to Nook's. I was meant to go buy a tree. Death meaning. You know what? I suppose we should go look for our crafter. Who have we not seen about? Apollo and Biscuit, I think. Vivian might be crafting. Oh, Biscuit's out there. Apollo's out and about. Okay, so it's Vivian or Audie? Maybe Rowan? I can't remember if Rowan's been about or not. Death, end of a cycle. But wait, hold on. Wheel of Fortune is about cycles. So is Wheel of Fortune like the start of a cycle? I don't know. Death is just the end of it. And reverse is being fear of change and holding on. Beginnings. End of cycle change. So that's what death is. So you would have thought death would be like a really bad meaning, which maybe it is. Maybe it does have like much worse connotations of that sort of thing, but it's really just sort of the death of the old, I suppose, and bringing in the new. Temperance, middle path, patience, and finding meaning. This is more like inner guidance again. Reverse is extremes, excess, lack of balance. Again, sort of just like definitions of temperance. So, the devil, addiction, materialism, playfulness. And then reverse is freedom, release, and restoring control. Hold on, wait, neither Rowan nor... Have we found our crafter yet? Oh, Phoebe, we haven't looked at Phoebe's house properly. Freedom, release, and restoring control. So it's a very good thing, I suppose, to have a reverse devil in this sort of aspect. Devil probably one of the few ones which is actually straight up a bad card. Like, the normal way up. Interesting. Oh, maybe, you know, there might be other ones. Tower is sudden upheaval, broken pride and disaster. I guess Tower is quite bad as well. Which is weird because, you know, Tower... Why is Towers all about it, like, sort of crashing and crumbling that way? You would... Tower's more like a sort of symbol... In my mind, rising up from the clouds or something and, like, protruding above everyone else. It's sort of like a beacon. Having reversed the disaster. Being avoided. Delayed disaster or fear of something. Stars, hope, faith and rejuvenation. And reversed is discouragement and insecurity. Moon is unconscious, illusion and intuition. I thought Moon was secrets. But maybe it's not. Cherry jelly. Cherry jelly. Jelly. Okay, let's get through the other ones. Reverse is confusion, fear and misinterpretation. Those don't quite sound like opposites to me. One, intuition appears here again. Which, you know, maybe it's a fault of the sign rather than necessarily Chariot itself. not here to criticize tarot because I'm sure there's many different interpretations that people have of them. Sun meaning joy, success, celebration, and positivity. And of course the opposite being negativity and sadness. Judgment being reflection, reckoning, and awakening. Oh, judgment! That's the one which summons the little the beggar. Reverse is the lack of self-awareness, doubt, and self-loathing. Feels kind of similar to hermit in that sense. I should talk to someone who's like an expert in tarot or something, so they can actually explain this properly to me. The meaning's always so fascinating, I find. Even if it doesn't necessarily hold the same meaning to me. And the world is fulfillment, harmony, and completion. It's the end. Also another end of a cycle, I suppose. Buying the fish fishing rod, I guess we'll sell it later. Because we have currently the one which we don't want. What am I? Oh, I'm buying a tree, that's it. 3, 2, 1, go! I don't know. Don't really have much else to say. Yeah, we're going to plant the tree, but I guess we'll round off this episode here. Tarot, I don't know. Are you a practitioner of the tarot? Of tarot? Is that just how you refer to it? I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I find, especially the meaning and stuff you can delve and uncover from it. I want to get a tarot card, but Rach told me. They said that it's unlucky if you buy your first tarot card, so your first tarot deck. So I'm just like, But I want to buy, like, if I want a tarot deck, I want it to be using like imagery and thematics and things that I want aesthetically. But if it's bad luck to buy it, what am I going to do? I don't know. Get someone else to buy it for me. Actually, that's an interesting loophole. I wonder if the fates have thought about that. Anyway, we're going to round off this episode here. I don't know. Was this an interesting episode? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. But we're going to round it off anyway. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join the Dear Darling Discord, follow me into this down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's farewell. So until next time. Bye bye for now.